Hi, everybody. Mark Gibson here from Speaker Navigator. We are really excited to be here with you at Take the Stage as one of the presenting sponsors. And we know it has been an incredible year. It certainly has been a very difficult year and interesting times to be sure. We have been on the front lines at my house between the husband working at the CDC and I work at the SBA. And at the SBA, I work with entrepreneurs and solopreneurs just like all of us. And although the news isn't great, I have seen a very promising attribute or characteristic in the entrepreneurs that I've been working with. And that's just resiliency in our DNA. I mean, just take a look at where we are at Take the Stage in this amazing virtual conference, right? So, a lot of us probably feel a bit of overwhelm from the year and having to pivot and, trying to actually grow our businesses in these times during a pandemic, of course, can be very challenging and difficult. And that's one of the reasons that I have created Speaker Navigator. It's an online coaching program to help you build and grow your speaking business, whether it's virtual or a live event speaking business. But first, I wanted to share with you, it just kind of feels like coming home week for me and working with everybody here at Take the Stage and Driven Inc. And they're just incredible. And the events are always so much fun and very powerful. If I could, I want to take you back to right when I was experiencing Take the Stage for the first time. And it was the fall of 2017. I was in the process of editing my manuscript. And for all your authors that are out there, you know this is the ping pong game, right? And it's a stressful time. You toss it over to the publisher to the editor, back to the author, and back and forth. And it does get a little crazy. At the same time, though, I was having a meeting with my publisher, and she wanted to know what was the plan for the book launch and my speaking tour. And, I just had to be really honest with her. I said, I've been so focused on the manuscript and trying to get everything done so that we remained on schedule that I hadn't really put a lot of planning. I know I wanted to do something big, but I hadn't, put a lot of thought in the planning. So we had a brainstorming session, and that's when I shared with her. One day I turned the corner and on Peachtree, and Peachtree is like the main drag in Midtown Atlanta. It's the main street. And the Fox Theater is there. And I could envision seeing my name up on the marquee with my book. And, I had no idea, y'all, no clue how would I even go about this adventure. And so I just kind of put it out there. And that was just an idea. I knew we had to do something. And I wanted to do something big to reward myself and the entire team and everybody that was involved in bringing my book and my manuscript to life. So, I kind of just filed that away. We left the meeting. And then it wasn't too long after that. Then all of a sudden, I came downstairs one day and I was making coffee in the kitchen and CNN was playing in the other room. And all of a sudden, this really high energy woman was on the TV. And I found myself doing like a call to response. Like, she was asking a question and I would respond. And I'm sure my family thought that I had been losing my mind at this point. And it was Suzanne and Larry, and they were talking about Take the Stage coming to Atlanta, Georgia. And are you a speaker? Do you want to be a speaker? Do you want to learn? And blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yes. Well, true story. I was so enthralled in the commercial that I forgot to write down the website for more information. I had to wait for it to run the next hour. I was late for work. It was a whole big thing. But anyway, it was the universe that was just kind of responding back saying, okay, we got you. This is how you're going to do it. This is how you're going to begin. Right. So I am happy to announce and pleased that the book was done ahead of schedule. And we were able to launch the book in a very big way at the Fox Theater. And I couldn't be more proud to have been able to get that across the finish line. But in the same time, I was equally honored and proud to be able to have the opportunity to attend my first Take the Stage event. And, I was just like you. I was right there, but I was probably, one of those that were a wallflower in the back of the room. And I noticed that, I noticed myself anyway, that at the breaks, I would move up. I wanted to get closer to the stage. It was so incredible. And that's why we're super excited. And we feel like it's coming home week for us. And now being a sponsor at, just this amazing event. One thing I want to do, and one little tip that I will tell you is in your note taker, we'll talk about the note taker in a second, but the first thing is in the margin, why don't you start writing down a who and how directory? And the who and how directory is going to be just these websites and these resources and all these different things that people are using that you may not have heard of. And I learned some valuable contacts with just listening to what some of those resources were, right? And we also have created an awesome who and how program inside of Speaker Navigator. And that is connecting you to those resources and sometimes getting a favorable rate and a discount and special offers. But you can do that here at Take the Stage when you hear people mentioning particular resources and maybe a website that you didn't know about. So that can start to be your who and how directory. Take the Stage. This is one of the unique experiences that you can attend for your speaking business. This really could put you on a path and a trajectory of success. It's going to break it down, and you're going to be able to really start honing in on your craft and your message, your point of view, and then how do you adapt that to your point of view to a particular event or a stage that you're looking to take. I know that it was a huge difference for me and helped me with my success and my business. I get it. Take the Stage. It's like, drinking out of a fire hydrant, but it's a lot of great content and a lot of great information. It's all geared just to help you succeed. I talked about the notebook. In any type of notebook, a note taker that you have. And here is what I would recommend you do. It's just a little strategy or a tip that I learned. So in the front of the book, use that for your message, use that for your point of view, your talk, and maybe in the right margin or so, you would have your who and how directory that's all applied to that particular topic, your talk, your message. Then flip the book over, your notebook or your note taker over, and then in the back of it, go backwards, and that will be for business ideas, business development, the four walls, if you will, of your business, right? And that's where we're going to focus our talk on today is the business development for your speaking business. I already told you, but Take the Stage, it was added fuel to the fire for my message and my talk. Speak Mastermind, that was straight up rocket fuel, and working with Suzanne and Larry in just 9 minutes, Larry and I, and we timed it. Larry and I, we were able to hone in on my point of view, and we were able to flip it and monetize it for a business development talk. And the rest really, it's just history after that. It really was a pivotal time for me being able to craft my message. I also get it that we are the chief cook, bottle washer. We are the solopreneur in our business. And I found that after leaving an event like this and all that energy and everything that I possessed, I also was feeling a bit anxious. I was a little bit stressed out, and the overwhelm started to set in, right? Because there was this assumption that I had some of these things already built in, like my small business, like I had it automated and I had these processes and everything, because that's what they were talking from the basis of their starting point, is that everybody, pretty much has most of this stuff set up. Well, I didn't. And that is really one of the biggest reasons why I created Speaker Navigator. You know, when I first started out, and maybe some of you are like this, I felt like I was building the plane while it was in the air. And boy, I just kind of hope that I, you know, got the wheels installed in time before we were ready to land. You know, at the time I had an okay system. It was okay in my mind anyway. It was sticky notes and a whiteboard and spreadsheets, and there's nothing wrong with that. I totally understand and I can relate to that. But the challenge that I will tell you with that type of system, it's really hard to scale it and grow that system to grow as you grow, right? So what I'd like to do is, if we could just shift the talk a little bit to your own home office. This is where I found myself when I was working, you know, in my own office and working with my speaking clients. The more repeatable systems that we had in place in our office, the more organized we were, the more focused that we became, and it also just drove so much better results. I mean, you're really not, you know, exhausting running around and chasing squirrels and all that craziness. And so it was instilling these operations, the operating systems, the things that became a routine, systematic approach to running the business versus your business running you, right? So I wanted to start with talking about the sticky note and the spreadsheet approach. And like I said, it's okay. It's a grind though, and it lacks that automation. Well, here's the other thing that it lacks. It lacks predictability. And predictability is the #1 key ingredient to grow your predictable 6-figure income speaking business. Predictability. And that's how I kind of started with building out Speaker Navigator, and how do you build out the construct of your entire speaking business, what is housed in it. And that's in order to establish like this cadence of operations and predictability. I've broken it down into 3 pillars of a successful speaking business. And I'm going to be following along on the profit predictability roadmap. I know that some of you may like to follow along, and I don't blame you. You can go and get it right away. This will be included at the end in your Jumpstart kit. But if you'd like to follow along, you can text the word navigate to 33777, or just go out onto the website, speakernavigator.com/lunch. And you can download the profit predictability roadmap, and we're going to follow along. This is going to kind of chart the course for our talk today. But first, an overview. Sorry, I was in the military. You have to start your every briefing, every talk with an overview and then a summary of what you talked about. So it's kind of a ingrained habit of mine. So here's what we're going to talk about, these 3 pillars: the business operations development pillar, business opportunity development, and then marketing, brand, and image. Okay. So let's get after it, as Chris Cuomo would say on CNN. We're going to start right here in our first pillar, which is that business operations development. Business operations is, you know, it's not this real formal thing that we have to go out and get like an operating system in a computer, but I would like you to start thinking along those lines. Think of this as the 4 walls of your business, okay? And this is your speaking business. Get this set up right from the beginning, and it will be able to grow as you grow, because you're not going to be staying here at this level with maybe 100 or 200 leads each month. It's going to start to expand, and it expands really fast. So I want you to have something that's already built in, and that is going to be a part of your own operating system in your business, right? So these systems, once they're in place and they're operating, it reduces the stress and the overwhelm and the anxiety and keeping up with all of those sticky notes. And it's really harder to grow a speaking business if you don't have these automations in place. For example, if you wanted to train someone or bring in like a virtual assistant, How are you going to train them on your spreadsheets? How are you going to, you might be able to train them on the spreadsheets a little easier than sticky notes and your whiteboards, but you get the idea, right? I hope you're beginning to see now how an operating system in your speaking business is super valuable, and it really will help you stay focused. It drives better results, which in turn hits your revenue goals. That's the whole idea, right? So let's start with taking a look at a CRM. I know that, when I first started, I did not want another computer program. I didn't think I was big enough. I mean, whatever, right? But a CRM, it's almost like it's an imperative. I think that you have to tackle this gorilla because it's a huge, huge concept. And CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management System. That's all it is. So it's time to have that discussion and consider getting one. These are powerful tools that run the gamut on price and power and complexity. There's going to be CRMs here at Take the Stage for you to ask them the questions and learn about their capabilities and how they can help you. Some of them just dominate the space, okay? But they're also more challenging to run. I found that you had to get like a second master's degree to try to figure these out and try to run them. So get something that you can operate with ease, and you can adapt it into your operating system of your business. And it's not super complicated, and you can use it to grow as you grow. So think about this as your sticky note system, but really on steroids, right? CRMs and automating your business operations with systems in place set up that more accountability, and that also drastically reduces those squirrel effects and those distractions that we all get every day, and it helps drive those better results. The next area that I wanted to talk about, and this is the longest pole in the tent, and as a speaker, as an author, I get it. I totally understand, but we've got to spend some time here and really figure this out, because this is the fuel that runs your speaking business, right? It's very complex, it's hard, and I totally understand. But spoiler alert, we have to learn how to do this for ourselves. You'll want to pay full attention at Take the Stage here for the different strategies and tips. We really tackle this in Speaker Navigator to help you set up a powerful lead generation machine. And that lead generation machine will become a daily routine in your cadence of operations to really just grow your speaking business. Just by the sheer numbers, it works. When you start doing this and you're doing it on a regular basis, it certainly is going to work. Full stop. You need to learn how to do this for yourself. You need to get really good at it, and buyer beware of these magical lists. Everybody wants to buy them because it's instant success, right? So you're going to get that list and it's going to get you booked. No. You had to set up the profile for somebody, a virtual assistant out there, to go and find the information on the web to build you a list. Most of the time they are pay for play. Most of the time they are advertising and payment for podcast hosting or something like that. Here's what I would recommend. I'm not poo-pooing those lists. They certainly have added value someplace. But what I do recommend, and we must do ourselves, is we have to get good at it first. We have to know, how do we prospect? How do we get lead generation built into our business right away from the get-go? So that way, maybe when you want to add that on later, you're going to be able to do that. And then you'll be able to help them build those lists and those systems for you. Okay? And we talked about how you can get those lists, and you got to tell the virtual assistant or the profile how to go out and find that information. And, Google, of course, we all use Google. It's great. But how many of you have gone to like page 7 of the search engine? Not many, right? So if you look at the iceberg on the right-hand corner of your screen here, at the top of that iceberg, that's Google. Those are SEO optimized ad analytics, and that's going to get you the just-in-time information for what you're looking for. If you're looking for a restaurant or if you're, looking for some place to get tires for your car, or, whatever you do for Google to start to find information. What we need as speakers, we need a Google for speakers. And that really lives in that bottom portion of the iceberg there. That lives in the bottom portion because that is considered the invisible web. And when you start really diving into and you learn more about the invisible web, that is the search engine. It's the Google engine for speakers to find you paid speaking gigs. And it uncovers valuable information about events and the companies and who spoke there before and what was the going rates that those event coordinators paid for those events. And we go over all of this in Speaker Navigator. We also have a really cool bonus offer for you in the Jumpstart kit that we're going to offer for everybody here at Take the Stage. I think you're really going to like it. A lot of value added there. But by now, the wheels should be turning. I hope they're turning anyway. And the wheels should be turning and with systems and business operations systems. You have a CRM that saves you time and money and automates your office. And the CRM provides accountability and day-to-day operations. It provides a cadence, a routine cadence. The CRM is your friend. So get to know your friend, spend mornings having coffee with your friend, and just so that you know that you have your CRM in place. Now you have a place for all the leads to live. Now you have a client journey that you would take all those leads and everything that you're getting in your leads and your prospecting and your lead generation machine, you pour that in to a system. So that way, now you have a dashboard, you have the leads that all come up on your dashboard, and then you have to move those through a sequence in your sales process. Did you send them the email? What happened? Did they reply? If they replied, are they interested? Did you book a call? Great, you booked the call. They were interested. They actually even just wanted to book you to speak. Well, now let's send them the contract. Oh, you don't have an automated contract. Put an automated contract in your CRM. I mean, and so it goes, right? That's very high level and superficial. I get it. But I want you to start thinking about an operating system, and pillar one of your speaking business. Another layer of support that we have in pillar one is text messaging and SMS code word marketing. One of the support beams, and this really is one that supports everything in pillar one, is being able to connect and drive leads. And I think it's an essential element for all speakers to get organized from the word go and your CRM and your lead generation. Get this valuable resource, and it's a great way for you to have instant access and instant connectivity, not only with your audience, but it is a really cool way to stay organized with code word texting. We already did it above, right? If you wanted to get the profit predictability roadmap and follow along with me, I didn't have to send you something, a download and a PDF and a . All you had to do is text the word navigate to 33777. That's my code word. That's my short code. And it's a sequence already set up, and boom, it's right there on your phone. There's a 98% open rate on text messages. It's phenomenal. It's fantastic. So SMS text code word, it's fast, it's easy. It's an easy way to automate these processes. Maybe some of you are still collecting business cards. I got it. I used to do the same thing. I would do crazy things at my big talks. I would pass a hat. I would collect the business cards. I would do raffles. And then I would have this big stack of business cards as I was leaving. And I would lower the tray on the plane. I would lay them all out on top of the tray. I'd take my phone, and then I would have to try to import them into my phone and then get them into my spreadsheet and all that. Stop it. You don't have to do any of that with SMS code word texting anymore. It gets rid of the business cards. Just do away with the business cards. You can even use this as your electronic business card. If you wanted to just maybe your code word was contact and you had that all set up, and then you invited them to get on your calendar to book a call with you. It's possibilities endless. Another way that I really like this is think about if you have a new product or a new talk or a new service or a new book that's coming out. here's a great way to promote it to your list. You can send out a notice to your list that, hey, my new book is coming out. Text the word book to your number, and it starts the whole sequence for them to go ahead and get a preview or a pre-launch special of your book. I mean, there's lots of things that you can do with it, but it's super affordable. It's very easy to use. And we have another great gift for you that's also included in the Jumpstart kit. And we're going to go over that at the end of my talk here today. The last phase and last concept that I want to introduce to our pillar one in business operations is build your online brand. And I know this kind of like sits on the fence a little bit between pillar one and pillar three. Pillar three is all about marketing and brand and image. I wanted to bring that in early because what you decide to do in operations will be fully supported by building your online brand. And you're going to want to make sure that you bring that concept to the table as you are building out your operating system. So plug in that you have these resources as well. And we'll talk more about it, but it's really important to include them in the setup phase of your business. So that way, you know that your business operations remains fully connected with your entire brand and your message, and everything is amplified so it doesn't cause any whiplash, right? And that's pretty much rounds out the business operations development of pillar one and setting up your entire business. And if you just kind of stick to these principles, you can add in certainly other components that will help you. But yes, you do need a CRM to help you grow and scale. It's time to get out of the sticky notes and the spreadsheets. You can do it. It is a grind, and it will create a little bit more stress and anxiety. At least it did for me in my business. Learn how to prospect like a pro. Build your lead generation machine. I am so excited about this. In module 2 of Speaker Navigator, we actually help you do this. And we go through the entire concept. There's an in-depth training on how do you get to the invisible web. There's going to be a free offer. I'm also going to have the downloadable that is going to be a tips and tricks sheet that laminate it, put it on your desk so that you can use it every day when you are working in your lead generation machine. SMS, text word, code word texting, level up your game a little bit. Automate that list building capability. You don't want to be hassled or bothered with these business cards and, how do you keep up with them? Just by them, you collect them all, you bring them home, they're wrapped in a rubber band, they're sitting on your desk. That just creates overwhelm and stress for me. So automate that whole process and get it right into your CRM. And then don't forget to bring marketing and online brand and everything right up to the starting point and make sure that's a part of the conversation as you grow your business, okay? The second pillar is all about business opportunity and business opportunity development. And again, you can go and get this. This will be in the roadmap. You can follow along. You can text navigate to 3377, or you can go to the website at speakernavigator.com/lunch. And there's the download in there, and you can follow along on the profit predictability roadmap. Business opportunity development in pillar 2. Think of this as products and services that you create, and they're revenue generating products and services. But here's the idea and the concept. These are great ways and vehicles that help you achieve your revenue goals. So, maybe you're just a keynote speaker right now and you have revenue goals, and it's a bit of a climb to get to those revenue goals. What if you had different ways to augment achieving your revenue goals that might not have you traveling or speaking or doing virtual events as much? You can use these really creative revenue generating products and services in your business to help drive revenue. And this isn't the all list, the complete list. This is just 4 that I've come up with that a typical speaker may have readily available, because you have the content, right? You have your keynote, you have your message, and you're going to be able to amplify that message. You can do it through a lot of different ways, like book publishing. this is a great way to do it. You know, it's not necessary. Not all speakers have to have a book, but I will tell you that a speaker with a book builds credibility. It also increases your speaking fees. So, you know, I know it's a huge undertaking, and the advice I can give you about considering doing a book or a book project, you got to treat it just like that as a project. First of all, it's a big project, but picking your publisher, that is really important because you want to work with a publisher that understands your message, understands your objectives, and what your intentions are for the book, okay? Because if you work with a publisher that they're really just kind of focused on the number of words and, you know, once and done, get it out of here, and it's just the project and they're moving on to the next one, that's okay, and you can definitely get it done. But I have found, and we go over this in section 2 of Speaker Navigator in the first module in section 2, and you get to meet my publisher and talking about the relationship with a publisher. And then we also talk about the business of becoming an author. And it's pretty impressive, and it's also powerful to learn the different things that you need to know before you do become an author, and then how you have those plugged right into your business operations to drive revenue. Another thing that you can do, and we did it in my business, and that is creating an audiobook. Audiobooks kind of up-level the book publishing, and it's a fun experience. It is another project though. What we did is we got real intentional when we launched my book, the manuscript, the paper copy. We already put it about 6 months into the book launch and the speaking tour. I was traveling, but then we started the audiobook project. And on the 1-year anniversary of the launch of the book, we launched the audiobook. And that's when I came out with a couple of more talks and different seminars and different trainings that I could do that augmented my speaking tour. So then I started to pick up some momentum there, right? I had my book, now I had my audio book, and then in the beginning, I also worked out a book bundle when I was getting booked for speaking gigs. And, you know, maybe they booked me for a talk and they also purchased 100 books for people in the audience. And then I stayed and I signed the books in the back of the room. Well, then it moved to, let's go a little more digital. So then we did the paper book, plus we gave away, you know, maybe the event coordinator bought 50 downloads of the audio book. But you start to see where this starts to drive different revenue channels that help you achieve your revenue goals, right? Another thing that's really become popular, and it's very lucrative because it runs in the background of your business. This is something that is running 24/7. And this is just cash injection into your speaking business. These are online learning programs. We cover this in depth in Speaker Navigator. We bring in an industry leader, industry expert that helps us learn all about what's entailed in creating an online learning program. And it starts to create multiple revenue streams for your business. And like I said, this isn't the end all be all list. These are just like the 4 that I see most commonly that you can have in your speaking business. And pillar 2 for your business opportunity development, this is your methodology. Building out your methodology by way of a book, an audio book, an online learning, or, you know, maybe you want to do some group coaching. This is great. You know, people that I've worked with, some of my clients, they do the group coaching, and it's a great way to increase your network. It's also a lot of fun. And, you know, you don't have to start huge. You don't have to rent the huge conference room at a hotel. Start small, 1-to-1, 1 to a few, 1 to a many, and then just work your way up. And these also create a great revenue stream. And it's also amplifying your message and your content. You know, so we went over in pillar 2 for business opportunity development. These 4, there's a lot of other strategies and products and services, but just to get you in the mindset of taking that methodology and building revenue drivers to help you hit your revenue goals, okay? And pillar 3, it's all about the marketing and the brand and the image development. This can get kind of fun. I consider the marketing and this pillar of your speaking business. This is where you kind of pull it all together, and it's the essence of you. It's the essence of your meaning and your message, and I think of it also like a warm blanket, and you can just wrap up in it, and it wraps up your whole speaking business, and it will help you keep everything all nice and warm, but also tightly connected, and you're building out your brand. All right. And then the first thing you want to do when you're considering your brand is, does your content connect? Does it remain connected? So you want to run it through all of your brand and your image development. You want to run this through a content strategist just to make sure that your content is doing just that. It's staying connected. You don't want your client, or you don't want a customer or an event coordinator to experience you. And this, remember what we talked about in module 1, or excuse me, in pillar 1 in business operations. You looked at your online brand development. Well, now it's going to start connecting with pillar 3. So your content, you don't want to create whiplash, and you don't want to diminish your meaning for your messaging. And that's how you do it in content, by getting a content strategist and making sure that all of your content remains connected, right? Then you're going to move over into marketing. And, marketing is a huge gorilla. I understand it. And people kind of shy away from it because they think it's huge. It's overwhelming, but it's not. The nice thing about marketing in your speaking business is that marketing, it can adapt to any budget that you have. And marketing doesn't have to be a huge undertaking or complex. But I will tell you, though, marketing has to be aligned with a specific goal and an objective in your marketing campaign for your business, of course, right? You want to make sure that it's also aligned with the other components and the other pillars within your speaking business. You don't have to get buy these Google ads or Facebook. Those are great. Absolutely. But you can actually start out small too. You can begin with maybe setting a 30-day simple marketing campaign and strategy, implement that in your small business and your marketing efforts here, and make sure that's aligned to a goal or an objective. Don't shy away from it, because marketing efforts, you'll be really amazed at the revenue that they can drive. We also bring in a great expert. I am your CMO, and really teaches us how to do these fast, quick hit 30-day sprint marketing campaigns to drive revenue in your business. Early on, I was talking about the who and how, and this is one of my favorite connections from Take the Stage in my who and how directory. I couldn't use it at that moment, but I did refer back to it, and you'll find that throughout your experience here at Take the Stage for some things and some people and resources that you're going to meet, and write them all down, capture all the downloads and the offers. But with talking about marketing and building out your brand and getting your visuals and your brand and your imagery all in sync, so that way it connects with the marketing and the content strategy. One of the best things that I did was I really paid attention to this whole notion of a lifestyle brand photo shoot, because what I was able to do is, after I had my lifestyle photos, and that was just walking with me throughout a day, and there's different photos that I could use later on when I was getting ready to run a 30-day marketing campaign or a social media campaign, then I had fully branded, approved images that I could use for my entire business when I was promoting a talk, or if I was promoting my podcast or a book or anything like that. I had all of these images already there. They're kind of evergreen and on the shelf. You can just pull them down and use them as you see fit. But getting your brand and your image all in sync, that's really, really important. And doing it early, it'll be super helpful. So that way you can just pull it down and use it and keep it moving right along. The last thing in this pillar in marketing and brand and image development is the conversation about price and value, because that's when you're getting to the end and you have everything set up in your business operations. You've built out some of that methodology. It's all connected and your content connects and your marketing and development. You got to have this conversation about price and value. And, I understand the price conversation, it's really challenging. So here's what we do in Speaker Navigator. We flip the conversation, establish a process to distinguish value and the value proposition over price. It's just a much easier, more streamlined way to get you able to price your products, your services, your talks, and the worth and the value of your content that you're creating, right? And so that's what we covered in pillar 1 of your business. We also go through a greater detail in Speaker Navigator. I'm just giving you the overview, but it's really important to make sure that you really look at what is your brand and what does that absolutely look like in your business. So there you have it. These are the 3 pillars of a successful and, more importantly, a predictable 6-figure speaking business income revenue generating machine. I mean, this is how you really explode your speaking business with that key element in mind, with predictability. Remember, I told you, predictability, it is the #1 key ingredient to grow your speaking business. Predictability built into each one of the pillars also ensures your success. And again, that's why I created Speaker Navigator, to help you do just that. So here we go. I've got a great, awesome free bundle bonus offer for you. It's a lot of value. It's over $350 worth of value for the VIP all access luncheon here today. Some of you that wanted to go ahead and get it right away, you could, no worries. It is the Jumpstart Kit, the Speaking Business Jumpstart Kit. Get it at text the word navigate to 33777 or hit my website at speakernavigator.com/lunch. This is your free Speaking Business Jumpstart Kit. Let me show you what the web page looks like. There you go. Just put your information there. We'll zap it over to you. It'll take you right to a page to start downloading this powerful resource. You're going to get that Speaker Navigator Profit Predictability Roadmap. It walks you through each phase of the process, hitting each one of those pillars to make sure. And then just to make sure you don't miss anything, we also have the Profit Predictability Roadmap Checklist. This is a great tool to use when you're building out your speaking business to make sure that you have each one of these components already built in. And then I think you're really going to like this. This is, you remember we talked about that tall pole in the tent, the lead generation machine? Well, this is the Intel Engine quick tip sheet with a free 7-day trial to try the Intel search engine. This is going to bypass the Google ads at the top part of the iceberg there. And this is going to take you right into the invisible web. It's going to take you right in to find those paid speaking gigs, live, not many live now, but virtual events. And you're able to start prospecting like a pro. You're going to love this. A lot of value added there. Also, a lot of value here with Textaful. We've teamed with Textaful in Speaker Navigator. Like I said, look there with those stats. 98% success rate, open rate on your text messaging, right? People open them. They read them. They look at them. You're not going to write the Gettysburg Address in here. It's just going to be a quick text. Hey, how you doing? I'm Mark. Here's the information for Speaker Navigator. Text navigate to 33777. Boom. There's your information. You're going to get 300 free credits. Code word marketing texting platform, super easy to use. The customer service is phenomenal there. Sam and everybody at the gang of Textaful, they're fun to work with. Go get it right now. You can use it as your electronic business card. You can start using it today. It's that easy to set up, okay? The VIP all access free bonus that I have set up just for you. We want to bring a lot of value added. And so I've opened up my calendar for a limited time. And for the first 50 people, you can go and get a solutions and discovery call. And I promise you, by the end of this call, we are going to uncover a missing revenue driving strategy in your speaking business. We really are. But with Speaker Navigator, it's going to help you get to achieving your revenue goals really fast. So here you have it, the Speaking Business Jumpstart Kit. Go out and grab all those things. You're going to get that profit predictability roadmap, the roadmap checklist. You're going to get the lead generation machine, the download, the Intel quick tips sheet. You can get those 300 free credits from Textaville. Oh, and by the way, they both are offering 20% off your lifetime subscription. Pay as you go, as you need them, and go ahead and get your free Jumpstart kit for your speaking business there. Okay. I really enjoyed my time with you today. I wanted to leave you with a parable though, okay? This guy is walking down the street. He falls into this hole and he can't get out. The walls are super steep and he's looking up and he's getting really frustrated. And all of a sudden he sees a doctor walking by and he's like, "Hey doc, I'm down here in this hole. I'm stuck. I can't get out." So the doctor, he writes out a prescription and he throws it down into the hole. And it's like, "Oh, geez." Doctor keeps on walking. And so then the guy looks up and he sees a priest walking by. "Hey father, I'm stuck down here in this hole. Can you help me out?" The father writes out a prayer and he throws it down into the hole and he keeps on walking. Then the next thing he notices, he sees a friend walking by and he's like, "Hey friend, I'm stuck down here in this hole and I can't get out." Well, all of a sudden, the friend jumps down in the hole with him and the guy yells, "Well, what are you, stupid? Now we're both stuck here in this hole. Now we both can't get out." And the friend says, "Yeah, it's okay. I've been down here before. I know the way out." I hope that you let Take the Stage be that friend to you. My name is Mark David Gibson, and I'm from Speaker Navigator to help you build your speaking business. Thanks so much for your time and your attention. Enjoy the rest of the event. Stop by the conference booth and say hello. You can always hit me up at mark@speakernavigator.com if you have any questions. The website is speakernavigator.com. You can go ahead and get that free Jumpstart kit at speakernavigator.com/lunch. Thanks so much and have a great, great event.